Today's eMoney tip of the week, I'm going to walk you through one of my most requested tips. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how I use Decision Center with the majority of our clients, how I present a base plan, and I'm also going to show you how I build out that base plan. I hear all the time that people don't do financial plannings. They think it takes so long to build out the plan. That's not the part of financial planning that typically takes the longest part. I've done my own studies. Michael Kitces has done studies out there. There's a lot of other companies done studies, and they all come to the same thing. The part of financial planning that takes the longest part is the data input. I don't care if you're using a more simplified financial planning software than eMoney or using eMoney, data input is going to take a long time. Artificial intelligence hasn't caught up. Computers haven't caught up to making it easier. I wish I could just scan in client statements and would go in there. API connections never come in the right way. Even when a client connects their accounts, we still need to see a statement. We still need to do that. That typically takes the ballpark of 5 to 25 hours to do the data input. What I want to show you is how you're actually making the techniques, which is the real part of the financial plan. I believe if you're doing this right for the base plan that we use for our clients, this should only take you about roughly 5 minutes to do. This eMoney tip of the week is always capped at 10 minutes, so I'm going to show you how I believe I can do this in 5 minutes or less. And what we're going to be doing, this is our internal document we use here. This is our using eMoney the baritone way. And what this shows is the things that we do in our steps on our team. You'll see every time we're going to show a premature death, asset allocation, an irregular market, and increased expenses. You're also going to see we do additional stuff based upon if they're not retired, based upon what their client needs are, and we have internal assumptions we use on our team that I'm going to kind of walk you through here. Some of those internal assumptions we can talk about some other time. So let's get into this client. So again, this is a sample client, Pam and Jim Helpert. The data's already been input, so that's the hard part. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a plan. So we typically leverage a paraplan department to do our data input. Then I can come in here and I can make a plan. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to hit add. Now typically I wouldn't have all these in here. I would typically only have one in here called alternatives, and typically a second one called recommended plan. We tend to put everything in alternatives and just copy and paste to make recommended. There are times where I do have different ones built out for different things I'm trying to show a client, especially in particular if I have like 6 techniques I want to have turned on at the same time. It just makes it easier to make a new plan for that. So let's click here on advanced plan. We come in here, and so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a change to a living expense, a major increase to living expenses. So make changes to, and you're going to see us come down to expense. You're going to see living expense is what we want to change around inside of here. And so what we do on our team internally is we do a 15% increase. So I'm just going to take this 94,300 times 1.15, and you can see that's 108,445. We're just going to round it up to $109,000. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the retirement amount. So we take $98,300. I'm going to multiply it by 1.15, which I'm just going to keep it at 113. This is just a starting point. Some clients, I feel like their expenses aren't correct, so I'm going to put different amounts in here. This is our language. We all know that we do 15% starting, so we only tell people to change it if they need a change for the plan. So somebody can go ahead and put this in for any one of our clients. So again, we're going to see that in there. And also make sure as you're going back through the client, you're changing this. This is a sample client, so it's actually at 2.51. Typically be 3.5% for all of our clients. That's what we use as our base one. So I talk about that in other different eMoney tips of the week, why we use that. So now we got living expenses done. Next thing we're going to do is show an irregular market. First, we're going to show a recommended portfolio. So let's go in here to reinvestment. Don't ask me why eMoney calls it reinvestment. Worst name of a technique I've ever seen in my life. So right here we're going to say is make a portfolio. We're going to keep the current calendar year. Apply taxes, yes. You can change it based upon what you're trying to do. We're going to use model portfolios, and we're going to tell them to change it to the recommended portfolio. Again, you could pick one of these in here, but I recommend making recommended portfolio most of the time, because then when you change recommended portfolio, it flows through to everything else. We can pick which assets to do in here, depending on what you're doing. It might be qualified or non-qualified. Right now, for the sample client, we're going to hit add all assets. Just be careful when you do that. Make sure you guys add their checking account and other things that you don't want to have more aggressive. Also causing undue taxes. So now we have living expenses in here. By the way, I want to change this name to major increase living expenses. So now we have those two in there. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to show an irregular market. So we're going to go under here to assumptions, and we're going to get inflation and market assumptions. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put a calendar year, Pamela's year retirement, because that's always the worst to show it in the first year retirement. We're going to show -20, and we're going to show a duration of 1 year. I know I probably just frustrated a lot of you guys saying that that's a major market downturn, but I actually have another eMoney tip of the week where I talk about why we use that assumption of -20. When you really understand what's going on with Monte Carlo, that's actually a massive market downturn. Even though a bear market is -20, what ends up happening is that Monte Carlo is after that. So we're going to put major market downturn. You can put whatever assumptions you want in your plan. So now we have those in there. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to show premature death. So we're going to come under what ifs, and we're going to go premature death client. Our team goes out 5 years for premature deaths. We don't want to kill somebody off the year that they're living. There's a whole reason for that. I have another eMoney tip of the week where I talk about that. So 43, because they give you the little cheat sheet right here. So she's at 43. I'm going to add 5, so she's at 48. And I'm going to hit save for this one. Then I'm going to come in, I'm going to change for the other client. So now the spouse is down here, and we know that Jim is 42, so I'm going to put this at 47. You can do whatever you guys want for your assumptions, but I'm just showing you how quickly we can put this in here, and sometimes we'll change around based upon what a client's trying to do. Maybe we need a sense of urgency for a client if God forbid something happens to them, to understand the impact of their plan. Disability is already pre-filled out. We don't see anything different that's going to happen other than they're going to lose their job. That's going to really cause what we want to see inside of here. We're not going to show a handicap ramp or other things, because a lot of times most of the disabilities our clients are going to deal with have to deal with mental disabilities or things that have happened that cause them not to go back to work. So now we have a disability built out. We have a premature death built out. We have showed an asset allocation change. And we showed a major increase in living expenses. And so you can see that I just built it out and very quickly, as I was doing it slow to talk through all these things. So now I can come in here, and if I was meeting with a client and I was doing an overview of their financial plan, I would go into base facts first and review all the assumptions of their plan. But I'm going to live here in Monte Carlo summary. This is the screen where I'm at the vast majority of the time. I would say roughly 80% of the time that I'm in eMoney of the client, I'm in Decision Center under Monte Carlo summary. I love it here. It's simple for clients, green, yellow, red. So I'm going to explain what Monte Carlo is in very simplified terms. I'm going to explain what yellow, green, and red means. Red, I always say, is come to Jesus, got to pray for a miracle. Yellow for us is going to be, you can do it, but as a CFP professional, I'm not going to tell you you should do it. Green means you can do it, and 90% means a high probability of success. And I explain why it's a high probability, because I can throw the kitchen sink. It'll typically not impact the plan too much. And then what we can say is, so you're at 84%, you're doing a great job. Talk about some of the things we could do. So right quickly here, I can go in alternatives, and I could say what happens if there's a major increase in living expenses. What if they move to the recommended portfolio? We can turn these on and off different ways and let the client see the impact. Now, there are many times we're going to put saving more and other actions we want to see the client take in their plan. This is just a base plan. I'm just showing you how quickly I can put these things in there. So you saw in that PDF, it's going to be save more for retirement. It's going to be other moves. Maybe it's downsizing the house. Maybe it's buying another house. Different things the client want, we can put in here. But I want to show you how quickly you can go and show this, and this starts to be an impact. Well, they'll say, what if I retire later, right? Well, we can put that one in there very quickly. We can come here to the what ifs, and we can show this premature death and turn this button off. And now all of a sudden we show the impact of a premature death. And then, by the way, you can go down to a life insurance solver down there and add it into there, or you could add another life insurance. So that's how we talk to clients. We like to spend our time in Decision Center, showing them the impact. I typically want to keep this out of the way, by the way. I want them to focus on red, yellow, and green. And let's focus on the things that we can do to take you from red to get you to yellow, to take you from yellow and get to green. And if you're in green, let's get you to high probability. We hope this tip helped educate and empower you to do more plans for your clients so that you can impact more lives through financial planning. If you have some great tips we don't know about, we'd love to hear about them. If you have a better way of doing what we just showed you, we'd love to hear about them, because we are a noble profession. And together,